Okay, turn to page 8 of your interactive notebook. We're going to do some examples. So this is stuff that we have already talked about. We talked about on the first day, second day of school, and this week. So we're just going to refresh our memory, do some examples so we always have these to look back on. Okay, so the first one, we're on page 8, simplifying expressions. When we're simplifying, really all we're doing is combining like terms. So on here, I need to figure out what my like terms are. Like terms is when they have the same variable with the same exponent. Okay, so if I look at this first problem, I have an H, H, and an H. So I can put all of those together. So if I want to put all those together, I need to figure out what negative 15H plus 41H minus H, which is basically a minus 1H. Okay, so if you need to use a calculator, go ahead and do that. If not, do it in your head. So we're doing negative 15 plus 41 minus 1. So we get 25, positive 25H. Okay, do we have any other like terms on there? Well, I have a positive 9 and I have a negative 1. I can put those together. So positive 9 minus 1 is going to give me positive 8. Now I have something with an H and something without, so I can't do anything else. Number 2. Feel free to pause this video whenever you need to catch up with me. On number 2, first we have to distribute. So 5 times x is 5x. And 5 times positive 3 is positive 15. That's how I know that there's a plus sign there. Now I bring down my minus 7x because I haven't used it yet. Okay, now are there any like terms? Well, I have x, x. Okay, so I have 5x minus 7x. You always use the sign that's in front. So 5 minus 7 is going to give me a negative 2x. And then there's nothing to put with the 15, so I bring down the 15. End of that problem. Next one, number 3. Okay, first I always have to distribute first because I'm doing PEMDAS, so parentheses first. So I'm going to have to distribute. You have to use the sign in front. So there is a negative 2 here, so I have to distribute negative 2. So negative 2 times x is negative 2x. And negative 2 times negative 3x squared is going to be positive 6. And then I have the x squared. Now, I haven't done anything with this 5x squared yet, so I got to bring it down. Okay, now are there any like terms? I got the two x squareds. They have the same variable with the same exponent. So 5 plus 6 is going to give me 11. And then there's nothing to combine with the negative 2x, so I bring that down. Okay, last one. Again, we have this 2 out here, but it's a negative 2, so we're going to have to distribute that negative 2. So negative 2 times a is negative 2a, and negative 2 times negative 1 is going to give me a positive 2. Bring down my 4a because I never used it. Combine like terms. I have two things with an a, so 4a minus 2a gives me 2a. And then bring down the plus 2 since there's nothing to combine that with. Okay, if you need to pause and finish that page. Okay, flip it over to the one-step equation examples page. This is page 10 of your interactive notebook. Okay, we're going to do these problems. I'll do both methods, the do and the undo. Okay, first one, x minus 7, the opposite of minus 7 is plus 7 to both sides. Okay? So here I get x, negative 7 plus 7 is 0. And 13 plus 7 is 20. X plus 0 is just x. So I get x equals 20. If you like the do, undo, I start with x, then I subtract 7, and I get equals 13. If I want to undo that, I start with equals 13. I do the opposite of minus 7, which is plus 7, and I get x equals 20. Okay, for the next one, I'm just going to do the do, undo. So we start with v. What did I do to the v? I added 8. That gave me my answer of equals 26. I start with the equals 26, work my way up. The opposite of plus 8 is minus 8. And what is 26 minus 8? Well, that is 18. Let's put a box around our answer to make it easy to see. Okay, next one. We have an inequality here. Okay, so we have negative 6 is less than or equal to b over 18. Okay, so I start with b. Then I divide that by 18. And I get, ooh, this one's written backwards. So really, the b is greater than 18. See how the alligator's mouth is open, facing the b? So over here, and the point is towards the negative 6, so when I write it here, the point needs to be facing towards the negative 6. So that's going to be greater than or equal to negative 6. Over here, again, I start with the same thing. The opposite of divide by 18 is times 18. So we need to do negative 6 times 18, which is 108. Negative 108. Okay, so our final answer is b is greater than or equal to negative 108. Okay, if you do that one the old-fashioned way, here you would multiply both sides by 18. Okay, so we would have, over here we got to put the 18 over 1. So we would have 18b over 18. And on the other side we would still have the 18 times negative 6, which is negative 108. 18 divided by 18, those divide out. So we would get b on the right side and negative 108. Okay, but remember, we like the variable to be on the left side, so we have to flip this. So we flip the b and the negative 108, and then we flip the sign because the alligator has to be open towards the b. So he's eating the b, and our answer, he has to be eating the b. Okay, I'm talking about the alligator. I'm talking about, you can just do your little Pac-Man hand if you want. Okay. All right, next one. We have negative 17x equals negative 204. So for this one, the opposite of multiplication here is going to be division. Remember, you divide by the exact same thing that's in front of the x. So here I have a negative 17 in front of my x, so I have to divide by a negative 17. Okay? The 17s divide out. I'm left with 1x, or just x by itself. And then I need to do negative 204 divided by 17, which gives me positive 12. Okay, if you want to do that the do-undo method, we start with x, we multiply by negative 17, and then we get our answer of negative 204 is equal, or that it's equal to negative 204. So we start with that on the undo column. Then we do the opposite of times negative 17, which would be divide by negative 17, same exact number, you can't skip out on the negative. So negative 204 divided by negative 17 would equal positive 12. Okay, that's the end of this video. You're going to go watch the next video, which will talk about the two-step equations on page 12.